The next item is the board to consider discussion with regard to Princeton Properties proposal. So you recall, we had a presentation from the representative from Princeton Properties about the prospect of affordable housing development at Jefferson Road.
With Andrew Shabin, who is the CEO of Princeton Property Management Incorporated. Please come forward.
We're talking about roughly 120 apartment homes. Our intention would be 50% of those apartment homes to be one-bedroom apartment homes, 40% two bedrooms, and 10% as three bedrooms, which is the minimum that is required by law to be able to develop an apartment community using this zoning tool. We're talking about an apartment community of roughly 120 apartment homes. We would like to do this under the local initiative petition, under the Chapter 40B statute. And we would like to do this in conjunction, in partnership with the town through the Board of Selectmen.
One of the things that I took away from the presentation was I appreciated the gentleman's approach, how he was willing to come forth without having pulled any permits. And Valerie, I hate to put you on the spot, but I will. Do you know if the gentleman has pulled any permits to date?
No, so with a friendly 40B process, it's a little bit different. The first thing you would apply for is to the state, to the Department of Housing and Community Development. But to apply to DHCD, he would actually need a sign-off by this board to do that. There's a little bit of an extra step with a friendly 40B up front to get local support.
In summary, the local initiative petition is in essence a partnership, small p as opposed to capital P, but it's a partnership between the Board of Selectmen as the representatives for the town and the applicant, so that we could put something together that provided a responsible economic development proposal for this piece of property.
We need to be very clear to people at home so we don't confuse them that this board has no authority over, different projects that are proposed.
Just to be clear, though, ultimately, if this is to be a LIP program, the Board of Selectmen will have to agree to sign off on the application that goes to DHCD. So there will be a point in time when that will need to happen in order for the other steps to follow.
And I'm not looking to endorse the project right now. I mean, we're going to just instruct the town manager to sit down with the developer and talk to him and report back to us. So I want to make it clear.
And the goal this evening is to repeat, if you will, what we talked about with the manager, Ms. Gingrich, and the chair, and get a sense from you, the members, as to whether our idea holds merit. We think it does. We're excited about it, but we would like to really get a sense as to what the board believes.
When we say affordable housing, I know that there are people asking if it's truly affordable. A one-bedroom unit ranges from $17.50 in North Andover up to $21.99 in Westford. The information you're sharing is that a one-person income, and again, the median might be different because this is based on Westford's area median income. A person making under $33,600 could get a one-bedroom for $760 a month. So I think it's important to put that out there, but I don't think, a person looking to downsize in Wilmington from their home is going to think it's affordable to pay $2,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. So I wanted to put that out there first, that the affordable units that you're speaking of would not be that amount. It would be less than that amount.
Significantly less. 80%. 4 out of 5 would be market rate. 1 out of 5 would be the affordable, as you referenced.
Soon after I'd gotten elected in May 2018, the town manager had sent an email to the board, as it was then constituted, because there was another possibility for this property. And that email had listed 365 units on that property. And this is a third of that. And I recognize that the state's solution to the legitimate need to provide affordable housing is the framework that Chapter 40B creates. And everybody wants to provide affordable housing. The balancing act is where and how you put it. That being said, we are all kind of doing this and having this conversation under the cloud of a 40B development that isn't going to be 120 units, and we'll work with you to have a local preference. We're probably looking at something more like 365 units there and a couple hundred units somewhere else, and then somewhere else. And housing, I don't know the last time I've been to a town meeting when someone has not made a comment about affordable housing and the need to provide affordable housing options. This seems a lot more palatable to me than some of the alternatives.
And I understand, we work with a friendly 40B or we don't. And I believe the 2020 census, we took an educated guess that by the 2020, we're gonna be under 100, below the 10%. So we need at least, I thought 70 or 80 units we were talking. And that's an estimate. Whereas if we do support this kind of a development, that the 120 units would go towards the affordable, so that would bring us over the threshold, over the 10%, I would assume.
That's correct.
Because we're gonna be seeing a lot of these type of developments come around town.
So 20% of the units will be affordable. We're talking roughly 24 units there if you're going to 120. So is that all designated for Wilmington residents?
The affordable homes, 70% of that 20% of the affordable component are reserved for whatever it is that the zoning board of appeals, and I would assume the board of selectmen will have an opinion there as well, will be reserved for Wilmington preference. And Wilmington preference can be defined a lot of different ways. It can be sons and daughters of those who own property in the town. It can be town residents. It can be town employees. There are a lot of different ways, and we will work with town council to be able to create the definition that the town fathers would like to see developed. But 70% of that affordable group will go for Wilmington preference.